Once Matthew gets out of the way, we'll be able to start. Basically, a lot of times what we do with recipes is we have a recipe within a recipe that gets us several places, but every part of the recipe can be used. So what we're doing right now is the goat's cheese mix. And when I was a younger man, I did not like goat's cheese. I actually kind of don't like it anymore either, even at this advanced stage. But, so this is goat cheese, comes straight. This is just what they call chev. And what I do is I cut it with cream cheese, so to make it more of a crowd pleaser. And that's what we've always done in Corner Kitchen. This is one of the things that we make on a regular basis. But the reason I mentioned that there's a recipe within the recipe is because you have to make the herb mix in order to make the goat's cheese mix. So I'm gonna start with the herb mix. And the herbs are lavender, rosemary, sage, thyme, oregano, and then just for filler, but it's a flavorful filler, you know, is parsley. I'm gonna move this cheese out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. And then we're gonna kind of go through the tedium of picking all these herbs. And let me tell you, rosemary and lavender are pretty easy. Oregano is a little less easy, and fresh thyme is the bane of mankind. We hate picking fresh thyme, and generally we try to get someone else to do it. So in this case, I'm stuck doing it myself because Matthew's behind the camera and he can't really help me. So as you can see, the oregano, you just pick that, and you just basically peel it off its stem, like so, and you just get the leaves, because the stems on oregano and sage and lavender and rosemary are not very flavorful, so you don't want to use those. There's only certain herbs where the stems are still useful, and generally that's cilantro, and to some extent parsley. So here comes the fresh thyme. If you can get really nice long stems of thyme, it's great. But I can remember working in New York City and as an apprentice, and my job was to pick the fresh thyme. And I was none too pleased about it. So obviously the volume of thyme is going to be less than the other herbs for two reasons. Thyme has a lot of flavor, and as I mentioned before, it's a bit of a pain in the neck to prepare. So we'll probably call it right around here on the thyme. So like so. And then basically what you want to do is gather all those together, and I'm going to wait and add the parsley. And you just chop them like so. And it's good to have a big old sharp knife to do this with. And once you get these rolling, then you can take the parsley. And some people are really sticklers about making sure that you get every bit of the parsley and every bit of the stem. But in this case, I'm going to make an exception because I don't want this video to go on for like 18 minutes and have everybody fall asleep. So there it is. So you've got all your herbs mixed together, and all you're going to do is chop them relatively fine. And obviously, or maybe not so obviously, this herb mix has a multitude of uses. You can use it, just make a batch like I'm doing here and keep it in the fridge. You can sprinkle it on salmon before you throw it on the grill. You can put it in vinaigrettes. There's any number of things that you can use this herb mix for. And there'll be a link on the video so you can actually get this recipe. And the recipe for the herb mix is on the lower half of the page below the goat's cheese mix. So you can see with a real nice sharp knife, this goes pretty quick. And you can cut it as coarsely or as fine as you like. Keep it in the fridge for maybe a week at the outside. So you want to use this stuff. I'm going to show you again that we're going to use equal parts cream cheese, 1 pound, to goat's cheese. And we've already got this in the mixer here. And so what we're going to do, we're just going to start that. You want to have it fully combined, scrape down your sides a couple of times, and then just add some herbs at the end, as well as some white pepper and kosher salt mix. if you just work that out, you want to just take it, and you clearly want to scrape this and mix it several times because it won't get a good suspension if you don't. It's just a great and very versatile cheese spread. Little secret here, if you add garlic, you can call it boursin, which is something they get a lot of money for in the gourmet section of your grocery. It's really as simple and as fast as that. The only thing I did ahead of time was I pre-mixed the goat's cheese and the cream cheese. But you can take a look at this. It's really, really lovely. It has a nice look. And as I said, it's very, very versatile. So that's the goat cheese mix.